What up, what up, what up, everybody? Welcome to the workout for today. Yeah, I pretty much stole that from CrossFit, so let's just go ahead and get that out of the way now. I thought it was actually a simpler idea in order to be able to do this, streamline it for everybody, was just one workout throughout the whole day that you can progress and regress for each individual person. And then if I needed to write an alternative program, I would just write an alternative program. Yeah, secret's out on that one. Enjoy that. So with that, let's talk about your workout for today, guys. What you have going on is you have two sections and then a finisher as always. Also, one quick thing while this video is out, if there's something on these exercise protocols that you can't do for whatever specific physical limitation, just take it out. Honestly speaking, just take the exercise out. I would much rather you just skip it, do what you can, and then move on from there. And then as soon as we're able to, find a coach, find somebody who can help you out with that, whatever your specific physical limitation is. So, let's go on to the workout now. God, I have all these asides. Let's get into the workout. So, inside of your first section of exercise, you guys have 3 exercises. With your 3 exercises, your goal is to do 5 rounds worth of work. Each round or each exercise you're going to do for 30 seconds work and then take a 30-second break. So your goal is either to do change the tempo of the exercise or to use the heaviest weight you can possibly do. My goal is not to make you do this to where it breaks something. My goal is just to challenge that muscle inside of that specific movement. That's all I'm trying to do. So when I say things like as heavy as possible, I'm not telling you to go as, say, a 150-pound male to go pick up a 150-pound dumbbell. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is use your best judgment inside, if I haven't already coached you inside of judgment, use the best judgment. You know, does it feel like it's too heavy? Does it feel like it's too light? And then adjust from there. So like I said, it's 3 exercises. You're gonna do these 3 exercises for 5 total rounds worth of work. So it's, you know, exercise 1, 2, 3, then go back up, round 2, 1, 2, 3, then back up, round 3, all the way through 5. And then like I said, the goal is you're gonna do 30 seconds worth of work, take a 30-second break, move to the next exercise, and then do that exercise for 30 seconds worth of work. And you continue to do that, like I said, for 5 rounds consecutively. There are no breaks between rounds, all right? Hopefully that's clear. So you have a Renegade row, you have a double kettlebell squat, or double dumbbell squat, and then you have a sit through. All of these will be explained in the following aspects of this video. The next section of exercise, same exact protocols. You guys have 3 exercises. You're gonna do these 3 exercises for 5 total rounds worth of work consecutively. And then each exercise is gonna be 30 seconds work with a 30-second break. So you're gonna do first exercise 30 seconds, take a 30-second break, go to the next exercise, 30 seconds, take a 30-second break, go to the third exercise, 30 seconds work with a 30-second break, bang, going into round 2. Now that you've done those 2 sections of exercise, let's talk about the fun finisher for today. So your fun finisher for today, yep, because it's getting nicer and nicer outside, you're gonna start seeing more outdoor cardio happening. That is our mission, purpose, focus, and drive. Because what this does is to make your body acclimate. You have to acclimate faster. Your body has to work harder to adjust to its surrounding, thus making the exercise a little bit more intense. Not too much more, just a little bit more. So you're either gonna go for a quarter-mile run or you're gonna do 4 minutes worth of running. Okay, that's about the average time for the quarter mile for just the average person if you're walking or you're jogging or, you know, a run. Like I said, sometimes things vary. I just did a generalized time, so this way you have an idea of where to start, where the gauge is at, honestly speaking. Like I said, this is not everybody. Also, can't run? Walk. That's fine. Walk for 10 minutes. You can't run or walk. If I say you can't do any of those things, do jumping jacks. Like I said, the idea is to get the cardio up just a little bit for 4 minutes at the end of the workout. That's the goal, and that's the premise of the finisher. So, now that you guys know that, you got 2 sections with a fun finisher at the end. 5 rounds, 30-30, bing, bang, boom, bang, 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 karate kick barefoot. That's, I don't know why I did that. Anyway, that's your workout protocol for today. Now let's take a second and let's talk about, excuse me, as I scratch my nose, now I gotta go wash my hands. As soon as we're done with this, now let's talk about what the actual exercises are and how it goes from there. Here we go. What's up everybody? Welcome to Titanium Training Studios and your explainer video for your workout for today. So, what we're looking at is we're looking at the first section of exercise. It's 3 exercises, it's 5 rounds worth of work. Everything is 30 seconds work with a 30-second break. So that's just the basic protocol for the first and the second section. So, let's talk about what the actual exercises are and how we can progress them and regress them for everyone involved. So, what you have first is the Renegade Row. So with the Renegade Row, as a general rule, what you're gonna have is you're gonna have 2 dumbbells, or for those that are super crazy advanced, you can have 2 kettlebells where it's a little bit less balance and you have really good grip strength. But for the purposes of this video, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna talk about it from the dumbbells, from the toes to the knees, with and without weight, so on and so forth. So, let me get my weights, let me right back, let me get my weights. Oh God. Okay, so, what I have is I have just a regular set of dumbbells in my hand, and here we go. So, the first version of this, what you guys are gonna be doing, is you guys are gonna have in the push-up position, okay? So let me see, is it a better angle? Is it a better angle? I think it's a better angle. Yeah, it's a better angle. Anyway, so what you're going to do is you're just going to pull and then set it down. Pull and then set it down. Your goal is not to slam the weights on the ground, okay? The goal of this exercise is honestly just mostly core and a little bit of back. Now, if you can't do it from your toes, that's cool. Go down to your knees. Same thing, keep that core tight. Pow, pull, pow, pull for 30 seconds. Can't do it from this position here? That's cool, let's elevate. You can always elevate onto a couch, onto a chair, onto something. Same thing, pow! Okay, so obviously you can see that we elevated. Another thing that happens during the course of this exercise is sometimes that wrist starts to hurt, your hand starts to hurt, things start to hurt. So an alternative that we have found here is that what we can do is, instead of using both dumbbells at the same time and you using them, what you can do is you can actually just use one dumbbell at a time where you're placing one hand on the floor. Now, and what that looks like is you'll just be laying on the ground. Let's just show you on the ground. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna have one dumbbell and you're gonna row and then you're gonna switch it out. Row and then you switch it out. Row. And like I said, the same positioning works from there too, except for now you're just using one dumbbell and you're gonna switch back and forth. And then that, like I said, can be sloped up or sloped down depending on what you need to do in your specific exercise. So that's exercise number 1. Let's talk about exercise number 2, which is the double kettlebell or the double dumbbell squat. In a previous video, I showed you how the double kettlebell works, which is overlaying the handles, interlocking your fingers, elbows tucked in, and then squatting. This one I'm going to show you the double dumbbell one. So what you're doing is the same basic premise, and the idea is what you're trying to do is, like I said, you're just trying to pick up the heaviest weight possible. Also, during the course of this exercise, because the weight is front loaded and it's not back loaded like in a back squat, it's going to use much more of your abdomen in order to keep you stable during the fluid or during the course of the exercise. So your feet are between hip and shoulder width apart. This is loaded up here, and the idea is, like I said, as heavy as you can, not so heavy that you can't do it. And then what you're going to do as soon as that buzzer hits, you're going to do for 30 seconds, you're just going to squat down, pow, and then come back up. Squat down, and then come back up. The goal is not to do 900 reps. The goal is just to do the best that you can for 30 seconds. If you find that things are starting to hurt, drop the weight and stop. Take a break inside of the 30 seconds. You don't have to go the whole time. It's not what you're supposed to do. What you're supposed to do is go until you feel like you can't do anymore. Not when you can't do any more properly. That's kind of what I'm trying to say there is. If you can't do any more properly, drop the weight, stop the exercise. take an extended break before you go back into the next exercise. The next thing you have is the sit through. This is one of my not so fun and favorite exercises. I really don't like it personally speaking, but I use it because of the fact that it's just kind of good overall proprioception when it comes to just exercises in general. So, the full version of this exercise, what you're doing is you have hands down, you're in the crouch position, and your knees are hovering above the ground. So, with your knees hovering above the ground, what you're doing is you're going to rotate your hips. So if I'm going to go to the left, so what I'm doing is I'm rotating my hips to the left, I'm pulling my left hand up, and then what I'm doing is I'm sliding my right leg through, and then almost sitting fully onto the ground, and then I'm going to slide that right leg back through, bringing the left hand to the ground. And then from there, same thing to the right. Start to rotate my hips, sliding my leg through, picking up my right hand, almost sitting down and then coming back up. Same thing, back to center. If that's too much to do, that's fine. Don't do that. What I want you to do is get up into the push-up position, and then what I want you to do is rotate. And then rotate. Is that too much to do? That's cool. Go down to your knees. And then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to rotate. Extending the one leg, keeping that other knee on the ground. So if you rotate to the left, like facing the left-hand side, you pick your left hand up, extend your left leg out, keep your right knee on the ground, squeezing your oblique, and then come back to center. Same thing, down, bang, and then back up. Whoo! Man! And if you can't do it from the ground, that's cool too. You can always do it from a bench, you can do it from the wall, you can do it from anywhere. Man, I'm already wore out. Anyway, so those are your first 3 exercises instead of your first section of work. You're going to do that 5 rounds, 30 seconds work with a 30-second break. You're going to do 5 cycles, and then you're all done. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, stop the video, go back, and then look at those exercise explanations again. This way, when you're going through it, you kind of get the gist of it. And like I said, use any one of the variations that I talked about, even add your own fun spin to it. That's another thing that you can do. Because like I said, most of my exercises and most of my protocols are guidelines, not necessarily rules. You can always kind of bend it one way or the other in order for you to be able to accommodate. All right, now that you're done with section 1, let's talk about section 2. Here we go with section 2. All right. So now that you guys are done with that first section of exercise, we've taken a break. Now we're going to move to the next section of exercise. So here's what we're looking at. We have 3 exercises. The basic protocol of the programming in the second section is the same as the first. It's 5 rounds, 3 exercises, 30-30. So that I don't have to repeat. And if you need a repetition of that, go back to the first part or the second part of the video, which talks about it a lot. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about kneeling alternating dumbbell press. So with this, we have several different options. The most important aspect about this is we're doing an upper body movement while doing the core at the same time. And remember, when we are bracing the core, it's not about sucking it in, it's about pushing it out slightly like a shield. You're trying to protect yourself. So in a previous video, I think I even mentioned it, it's like the idea is you're looking at your stomach as a shield. You're not looking at it as an hourglass. You want to look at it as a shield. It is protecting. So you're pushing the abdomen out in order to brace your core, in order to make everything more stable so the exercise can be performed better. With that being said, let's talk about the first exercise. So the first thing you have is a full kneeling alternating dumbbell overhead press. So what you're going to do is you're going to kneel on the ground. Once again, brace the ab, hands up, one hand at a time. Pow, pow, pow. I want you to make that noise too, baby. Pow, pow, pow. Just because sometimes we need to be silly. Pow, pow for 30 seconds. Once you're done with that exercise, that 30-second break comes up. The next thing you're going to do is I didn't tell you about the progressions and regressions. How silly of me. Anyway, if you can't do it from the kneeling position, That's cool. The next available position I actually want you to do this from, so I want you to do it from a chair or from a bench. So what we're gonna do here, same thing, but now, let's go over here because you can see more of me. So you're here, same thing, brace your abs, ha! And then here, and then one arm at a time, pow, 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 just like that for 30 seconds. Yoink. That's what you guys have in the first exercise. So let's talk about the next exercise. You have a single arm overhead reverse lunge. Now, what we're doing with this one is a little bit different than I've normally done. So we're gonna grab the dumbbell. You're gonna hold it overhead. The hand with the weight is the leg that goes back, okay? So the weight's in my right hand. I'm going to step back, squat down, and then come back up. I'm gonna switch hands, same thing. Left hand, left foot goes back, squat down, and then come back up. You're gonna alternate back and forth for 30 seconds. Can't do that, that's okay. Let's just drop the weight. So now you're doing it without weight. Right hand's up, go through the motion of the exercise, squat down, come back up, and then you're gonna switch hands, squat down, come back up, and then that's cool. Too much on the knees for doing the lunge. Then what I want you to do is I want you to take just one of the dumbbells, and then what you're gonna do is just an overhead squat. So, grabbing a dumbbell, holding it overhead, elbows to the ears, feet between hip and shoulder width apart, and then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna squat as far as you can comfortably, and then come back up. Can't do that, that's cool. No weight, no problem. What you're gonna do next is just gonna hold your hands up, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna back up to a bench or a chair, and then you're just gonna squat down, touch the chair, and then stand back up. 30 seconds worth of work, guys. Super simple, super straightforward. Let's do exercise number 3. The exercise number 3 is the windmill. I'm a huge fan of this one, honestly, because it's just really good for that hip mobility, glute activation, and anti-rotational property of the actual core itself. So what you're doing with the windmill, we'll just show you without weight, and then we'll show you with weight. So as a general rule, the motion of it is, the idea is you're going to keep your chest forward, and actually you're going to turn your feet to the side. So if the weight is in my right hand, what you're going to do from here is you're just going to push the hip backwards while you push the hand down in between your feet, and then back up. Doing 5 on one side, alternating, switching those feet, same thing, 5 on the other side. Your goal is to feel it on one side. Now, here comes a couple of fun things that come with the windmill. If this windmill is too easy, then what I want you to do is lighten the weight up, and then I want you to put the weight in the top hand. So if you are bending down to the left, you're going to have it in your right hand, and then it's the same thing, keep this stable, pushing down, pow, 5 on one side, switching it out, same thing, pow, 5 on the other side. That's your progression. So if, like I said, if it's too easy here, put that hand up here, lighten the load. Do not put the same load that you would have down as you would up. Now, can't do it with weight? That's cool. Do it without weight. Just go through the motion of it. Stretch through the oblique, the hip, the piriformis, and I can't remember this exterior muscle right now off the top of my head. Anyway, then you're gonna do 5 on one side, 5 on the other side, back and forth for 30 seconds. So once you get done with that, that is your second section of exercise. Now that we've completed that, now, I'm super repetitive about words. It's a weird tick I have. I have a therapist. I promise I'm getting help. Anyway, now that you guys are done with section 2, now let's go on to the finisher. Enjoy. First 2 sections of exercise, let's talk about the final finish of the program today. What you guys are going to do is you guys are either going to run a quarter of a mile, or you're going to run for 4 minutes, because that's kind of the, like I said, it's kind of a mean average time of a decent run quarter mile. Or a light, I think that's a light jog quarter mile for the average person. If you can't run, walk, all right? Seriously, just walk. Do not feel like you have to push the boundary of sound and speed in order to get, that doesn't matter. Do for you the best for you. You are the variable inside of these workouts. That's why there's progression and regression, because you as a human being are the variable that decides how we make an exercise work one way or the other. So, like I said, if you cannot run a quarter mile or don't know how to gauge the quarter mile, that's fine. Don't worry about that part. What I want you to do is, like I said, just run for 4 minutes, or light jog for 4 minutes, or walk for 4 minutes. I do not care. Don't want to do any of those things? Jump rope for 2 minutes. That's cool. Do jumping jacks for 2 minutes. The goal is, in the finisher of an exercise program, to get the heart rate up just a little bit in order to exercise the heart, because the heart's a muscle too. And that's a muscle we need to be exercising just a little bit more, not a lot more, just a little bit more, in order to help with the overall picture of everything. So, now that we're done with all the exercise protocols that I have for today, as always, thank you guys so much for watching this video, sharing it with friends, and then also the last thing I need you to do, as always, is like, tag, share. Tell people what you're doing, show them what you're doing. Put this out there. We need to help as many people as humanly possible, and I can't do that by myself. I need you, the client, you, the individual, to tell people, show people, let them know what you are doing. Help us help them. That is our goal. That is our mission during this time and any time beyond here. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your workout and be well.